It is Tatiana Suarez, the #1 ranked strawweight in the world. Of course, now we know fighting for a UFC title. And Tatiana, I just want to start there. I guess give me your emotion finally that it's official, right? Because I don't know, I felt like anxiety waiting for you to get this shot. I was waiting for you to get it, and it's finally official. What are your emotions now that you know the date is on the calendar? You're fighting for the title.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Just because I felt like I could have been here years ago. And everybody knows my story. So I'm just really excited to have the opportunity to go ahead and show that I'm the best in the world. And I'm sorry, I have this cup in front of me. Weird. Yeah, and just show my true potential finally, and go out there and do my best.
You
I'm
know, you say
excited.
it. I was gonna say, but the way you say it, you kind of glance by it, like everybody knows my story. I should have been here years ago. But I mean, honestly, like, was there any part along the way where even you, with everything that you've been through and all your true belief and all your dedication, did you think like, oh my God, I guess this is just never gonna happen for me?
No, I mean, you feel like, kind of alone in it. Even though you're not alone, you have people that, are there to support you, and like, my family, my fiance, just like, and my friends, and my coaches and stuff like that. But, they don't really know like what you're really feeling. Like they could, this, kind of understand, they could say, hey, I understand what you're going through, but like no one can really truly feel how you really feel. So a lot of times you feel really alone with everything. And, it's like, I don't know. I think my mom, like when I was younger, I think it's just been years and years of like, like life's, nothing's ever been given to me. I've always earned everything that I've ever had. So I think that like I'm used to working for everything. Like I've never been the most athletic girl. No one was like, oh man, she's a true athlete, like right away. That's just been years of like dedication and hard work, and like just sticking to, working hard. Like I literally say it all the time. I'm just like, I just grind, like I go out there and I give everything that I have. And then that's why I stand out, because I've just been doing it so much. And like, even throughout the injuries and everything, like most people would be like, I'm injured. I'm not going to work out today. Like, no, I was still working out. Like, I remember, like, I read a couple of comments, like, online, and, I don't really like to, I never give people the time of day, really, I don't. Like, even if
Right.
especially if it's negative, if they're positive, I will give them, like, positive energy back. But if it's like a negative comment, like, I just will skip right by it. And, but I see, like, people saying stuff sometimes, and, like, I remember this one guy is like, she doesn't deserve that. Like, she has just been sitting on the sidelines doing nothing while everybody was working hard. And I'm like, no, I was working, if not harder, because these girls had something to work for. They had, like a fight to work for. It's very difficult to fight for something when you don't know when your next fight is. Like it's like saying, like, oh, I might get promotion from work 2-3 years from now. You just, like, what I mean? But if someone were to say, hey, all you have to do is work for 8 weeks and you might get this promotion, they're probably going to work their ass off for 8 weeks. But me, I don't know when I'm going to come back. So it's just working my ass off every single day without knowing when I'm going to get my payment.
I think that to me is honestly what's most inspiring about your story, because I think you just nailed it right there. Like that's what I've always wondered about you is how do you stay dedicated, right? Like how do you get through the injuries? How do you keep training at a high level, right? Because you're not just training. It's not like you're going to the gym. I mean, you're training at a high level, training at a championship level, knowing
Yeah.
that like there's not really a date on the calendar. There's no guarantee
Right.
you're even going to get it. So like
Yeah.
where does that inspiration come from? Where does that motivation come from? Because I find that incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know where it comes from. I just think, like I said, I just think it's like years of grinding since I was really, really young, just working really hard for everything I've ever had and just my background and everything. I just have always thrown myself into what I love, my passion. And to me, I'm like, well, I might not ever get there, but I'm like, shit, at least I tried my hardest, like gave everything that I could possibly give to reach my goals and my full potential. You know what I mean? Like it's just I guess it's like one of those things that's like you I don't know, it's either in you or it's not, I don't know, but it's definitely in me. And I think my mom definitely taught me that. My grandma did. And, they were always like, you always want to strive for the best version of yourself, and, that's how I approach life in general. Like, I just always try to do my best.
I love it. All right, it's a beautiful story, but the story's not over yet. There's another chapter. Let's talk about Zhang Weili. What you think about her as a fighter? You've known this potential matchup could be on the horizon. So have you been like following her career, breaking her down? I know she's in Vegas sometimes. So talk to me what you think about Zhang Weili overall as an opponent.
Yeah, I think she's a great opponent. I'm looking forward to go ahead and sharing the cage with her. She's a fierce opponent. She brings it. She's tenacious. She goes after it. And I do too. So I think that makes for a very good fight. No one ever said, hey, Tatiana looks really lazy out there, like when she fights. Like, no one's ever said that, and no one's ever said that about her, And so I just think that makes for a good fight. Like, somebody I saw on the internet was like, oh, Dana, I can't believe you're taking my money for this stupid pay-per-view. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is about to be fire.
I love that.
I can't see the fight being boring. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, she's a go-getter. I'm a go-getter. Even in the clinch, like, we don't just sit there and kind of just sit there and like, okay, we're going to chill here. Like, she's throwing knees, I'm throwing knees. Like, it's going to be a good-ass fight, and I can't wait.
I love it. Well, we know what's happening in February, UFC 312. I did want to ask you first, I guess, maybe about traveling to Australia. In your UFC career, you haven't traveled a whole lot out of the States, but obviously before you came to the UFC, you competed internationally, globally in your wrestling career. So talk to me about, your thoughts about traveling that far, how it impact. Do you enjoy it? How does it impact your performance? That sort of thing. Do you have to take special precautions or arrangements? What do you think about having to go all the way to Australia to compete there?
Yeah, no, I have, the best people looking out for me. They're going to make sure that when I get there, I'm acclimated just fine. We're going to go out there, early, and we're going to get acclimated as well. And here, while we're here, we're going to get acclimated to the time change. So, yeah, I'm excited. Fortunately, we had like my teammate who's going to be obviously be on the same card. Sean is going to be on the same card, and he went out to Australia, fought there. So he's, saying like, oh, I think they went out 10 days early last time. I might go like maybe, I don't know, 12. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I like training here, so, I kind of want to sit here, but then at the same time, I do know that it's such a drastic time difference. Like the other day, it was like 11 a.m. here. It was like 5 a.m. there, like the next day or whatever. It's just weird. It's crazy. They're like, yeah, you're fighting on Sunday. Like, this is the first poster where I've ever had an 8 and a 9. They're like February 8th and 9. And I'm like, wait, what's happening?
That's
and
funny.
then I was like, oh, I get it. It's Australia. It's fine.
That is funny. All right, so listen, I want to ask you that too, right? So you mentioned Sean Strickland, right? So when I think about you, I don't think that you don't like necessarily doing media, but I don't think you necessarily like you want to do it all the time. So I do wonder if this is maybe almost like the perfect scenario, right? Like, it's a title fight. There's going to be a lot of pressure. You got to promote the event. But let's be honest. When you get there, Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland, you're probably not going to have to talk a whole lot at the press conference. You know what I'm saying? Is that like ideal for you?
It's going to be like it usually is. We're going to have Sean and doing all the, getting all the thing. And it's just going to be me and Weili just being ultra respectful like we are, And, I know it's like sometimes it can be boring, but man, like for the fans, they want to see people that hate each other. But man, I think our talent speaks for itself and our names speak for ourselves and stuff. So I think that sells it itself. And then I don't really need to do a whole lot of talking because we have, yeah, you're right. It's like the best of both worlds. Like, we could stay true to ourselves, and then we can have Sean and Dracus just talk shit to each other.
I do. I think it's going to work out perfectly. So, listen, I honestly feel like, especially hardcore MMA fans, they felt like this is a long time coming, right? Like, this feels like a moment that should have happened years ago. I don't know if you can even let yourself think about this yet, because there's still a mission to be accomplished. But can you express like what this would mean to you? It just, like I said, I feel like we could have been in this spot several years ago. We're here now. what would this mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean a lot to me. I'm trying not to like put so much into, like because I feel like I fight a lot better when I'm, competition mode, not like emotional and, like I already have, like most fighters already have anger issues. So me in particular, I have to really chill out. Like if someone gets me like with a shot, it's like like even if it's like one shot, it's a clean shot. I'm like, I gotta kill you. Like immediately it's like that. Like, so, so like me, I've learned like over the years where I just have to like, just be like chill. I'm such a fiery person. So like me, I just have to like chill and be water sometimes and just be like, oh, shake that shit off and then go back to, you know what I mean? So it's all about, being, controlling yourself. And that's like the biggest thing for me. So controlling my emotions while I go out there, making sure that those are all in check and stuff like that, just so that I don't get, too emotional and fight with emotion, and just fight with skill and fight with my mind and all that stuff. So that's like, I think that's when I fight my best and when I do my best. And the aggression will always be there. Tatiana just is aggressive, so it will always be in the fight. And then, but then I have to sometimes tame that aggression, tame it so it's sharp.
I love it. Well, I'm excited for this fight. Obviously, you'll be doing several interviews and a lot of media up until the fight.
Mm-hmm.
What is? I just want last question, I guess, for you. Kind of what is the approach, right? Because it's official, but we still got a couple of months. There's holidays. There's difficult. So, I see I believe you're at the UFC Performance Institute right now. So, are you in training camp already, or are you waiting to ramp up? Like, what's the approach for you?
Well, I've been in training camp for a while now because I was supposed to fight Verna. So, it's just I've been in like an ultra long training camp. So, and I love to train like this. It's not something where I'm like, oh shit, like I feel, like, oh great, another day of training. I'm like, great, another day to get better. That's my like mentality. Like I love it. I love everything about the sport. Like that's why I think it's so difficult for like a lot of people to hang up the gloves, sometimes, because they love it so much and they put so much into it, and a lot of it becomes their identity, and so the same for me, and that's why I think like, it wasn't really that difficult to train through the injuries, because I'm like, well, this is just who I am. There's no other, there's no other Tatiana. This is Tatiana is a fighter. She's she's gonna go get whatever, whatever I want, not like saying I'm gonna go get whatever I want. Like I just get whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna work for whatever I want is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I said last question. I should ask you, by the way. You said you were supposed to fight Verna. I remember that. Obviously, we talked about all that. How long did you know that this was going to happen? Because I got to be honest, when I heard the fight wasn't happening, I know you were very upset that people were saying you were injured. In my heart, I was like, I bet she got a title shot. So how long did you know? Is that what happened? And how long did you have to keep it secret? And how hard was that?
I cannot speak to that.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
All I know is I was never fighting. That's all I know. Well said. Well said. Well, Tatiana, listen, like I said, very, very happy for you. I really appreciate the time. I know it's a busy time for you, an exciting time for you. Man, just any last thoughts, messages like that. I mean, you're diving into training camp. As you said, I think there's a portion of people that are incredibly excited about this fight, maybe a portion of people that don't understand how good this is. What do you want people to know about you as you get ready for this incredible opportunity?
I don't need no new fans, It's just like, if it happens, it happens. And like, the performance will speak for itself. And, I'll just go out there, do my best, always give it my all. And that's it. February 8th, 9th.
February 8th, 9th, depending on where you are in the world. That's when it happens. Awesome. Tatiana, congratulations on getting this booked. And obviously we'll wait for a couple months. We look forward to this fight.
Thank you so much.